Hello, Scary Dolls.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Caro.
And you're listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast. I almost said I'm Ashley.
Oh, you did?
I think because I was looking at you.
One day we should do that and see if they notice.
I think we did.
We
remember?
did? Yes. Oh, shit. I don't remember.
I don't think they noticed.
Probably not.
I don't think anybody noticed.
No.
We like kind of almost sound the same.
Yeah.
I've heard people tell me like, oh, I don't know
who's
who until you do something super like West Side. And I'm like, bitch, like what? And they're like that. Like, talk all ghetto. And I'm like, oh, okay. I get it.
Ew, okay.
Ew, okay.
It's a very lazy Sunday for us.
Yeah.
Very.
We've been doing nothing all day.
And it feels fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We went and got
nothing.
coffee. We sat in the parking lot for I don't know how long.
It was literally like 45 minutes that we sat in the parking lot.
We were just sitting there like talking, right?
Just chillaxing.
And drinking the coffee and no kids.
And watching the homeless man who was on crack with his basket.
Yeah. He had bigger titties than me. I wanted to go flick him. No, I feel bad for him though.
Sunburned
Yeah,
too.
he would.
I feel bad for him.
Oy.
What else did we do? We
But
got
it's
burgers.
Burgers.
We
Then we came
ate.
Shout out to Brenda's Burger.
Non-spons, but shout out.
Not sponsor, Southside for life. But
And,
those
Dutch
burgers
Bros.
are bomb.
They are.
But then there's a bomb going off in my stomach.
For real.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I just have gas. And then we're sitting here drinking tea, eating peach rings and hot Cheetos.
This is not what I expected.
And Lucas Sour Belts.
Those used to be like, I would eat those like every other day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're addicting. Like once you start, you can't stop.
Mm-mm. I'm surprised like I don't have like an ulcer by now from eating so much of those.
Thank the stores.
I've been snacking on hot Cheetos all day today.
Yeah.
Baby, that's not a snack. That's a lifestyle.
It is a
Just kidding.
lifestyle. It really is.
I love hot Cheetos.
My sister gave up hot Cheetos for Lent. I don't know why she did it to herself, but she's like, "You're the devil." I was like, "What?" I know, but why? Why are you saying that? And she was like, "Cause I come in and I see a big family size pack of hot Cheetos." She's like, "And then you're FaceTiming me and I see a big huge thing of hot Cheeto puffs." I'm like, your fault.
You know,
Sucks
my
to
aunt
suck.
would put hot Cheetos like, you know, in her pickle. And she would make a hole in there and put like one Chinese candy and then
Yeah, it's a thing.
hot Cheetos.
You
in there.
hollow out your pickle, stuff it with hot Cheetos, or put like or I don't really eat Chinese candy because it's like so much salt, like my blood pressure could never. But you put the Chinese candy in first and then stuff it with hot Cheetos. And then at the end, you just suck the Chinese candy.
I literally
The
like
best.
my cheeks just got all like tingly,
I got like watery. My whole mouth just like started salivating.
It's because I thought of
like
Pickles are good for cramps though.
They are. I'm about to go swallow your whole jar of pickles.
have the spears.
I know. I saw. I already eyeballed them.
She's like,
I went through her fridge already. Room raiders.
Yeah.
Room raiders.
You come in, you say hi to your kids, and then you're like, I'm gonna go get a snack. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm always hungry. I come in first thing. I'm like, hi.
what do you
All right,
got
let me go check your snack drawer. It's so fun.
Yeah, y'all practically live here at my house, so it's fine.
You're right. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh, my mouth right now got extra watery because I remembered when I used to walk home in middle school. There'd be a little truck that would park outside the middle school, right? Which is a perfect it's a perfect spot. Like people should do that. But also it's kind of pedophile. Anyway, no, not really.
That's what I was
Wait,
thinking. Like, that's a great way to
Kidnap someone. So they would park and it was just a van. It was just a plain van and they had their back thing open and that's where they had all like their snacks, like the little setup or whatever. And the lady, I guess, would peel the lemons and what are the yellow ones? Lemons? Yes, lemons. Put them in pickle juice for I guess like 2-3 days and let them soak up all the pickle juice. And then you could buy like the pickled lemon. She would put it in a baggie and put Lucas and chamoy in it.
Oh my god.
My mouth.
That sounds so good.
And I could buy them you could buy them for 50 cents. And best believe I would always get it. And my mom's like, "Ay, your panza, you're gonna get chorro." And I'm like, "No, I'm not.
It's okay.
It's worth it.
Back in our youngin' days.
Back when I wouldn't get chorro as easy as I do.
Like, you could eat Piccadilly's, like, all day. And now it's like, oh, I gotta go restroom.
Getting older, man.
Yeah. My
Can't
stomach
eat certain stuff.
Girl, I didn't know I was getting old until now. Everything I eat gives me the diarrhea. I'm like, damn, I really am old.
Like, earlier when you were in the restroom, I was like, I have to use the restroom.
I was like, I'm sorry.
Sabrina kept throwing stuff at her, and then Sophia started crawling on her back. She's like, get off of me.
I literally felt like if I would move,
she was
I was
like,
gonna shit
literally,
myself.
she just slid off my couch, rolled herself on the floor. She's like, I can't move. Let me know when she's out.
Oh, it was horrible. But it's because all the shit we mixed this morning.
It was the coffee, the burgers. Whatever
Dude,
you ate when you were here.
bad. Cheese balls. I ate a bag of cheese balls.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so last night, I've been waiting to tell you this.
Oh God. What?
So Tim goes to sleep. The kids are asleep. I'm in the living room being all creepy by myself. All the lights are off. I have the candlelight. And you know how the TV does like all the matrix coding?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to watch TV. Couldn't find the remote. I was too lazy to like look at the app. So I was just watching TikToks or whatever. So I hopped on this one TikTok. She was doing a live and we were all talking about like scary stories and like, you know, talking whatever. Messaging back and forth on the girls' TikTok live show. And I heard somebody go, Mandy, but like very faint. And I stopped and I just kind of like sat there and I was like, what? I hear Mandy. And it sounded like Tim. So I got up and I went to the room and I was like, what? All irritated. And he was like, what? I was like, did you call me? No, I was asleep. I was like, are you sure you didn't call me? No, why? He jumped up. Why? And I was like, I swear I heard you calling my name. He goes, no, it wasn't me. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going back. So then I flipped on the light and I texted Gato. I was like, so something happened. I was like, somebody was calling my name. I went and asked him. And now I'm just irritated because I was like in the zone watching this live on TikTok and it interrupted me. And she was like, okay, so are you irritated because you thought it was Tim, but we're not going to question what was saying your name?
Yeah. I'm like, bitch, you're mad because you were bothered while watching your live, but you're not concerned of what was saying Mandy, you know?
I was more irritated that I was bothered.
It was 3 a.m, right? Because I didn't fall asleep till 3 or...
It was like midnight, it was like midnight, 1 a.m.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I did stay up a little later than usual.
I was more irritated that I was bothered. I'm like, you made me get up to go see if it was my husband. It wasn't my husband.
How
like,
dare
leave
you.
me the hell alone. Don't bother me.
It's late.
It was me time. The kids were asleep. Tim was asleep. It was me time. And you bother me.
Don't mess with the mom's me time.
Even if you're a ghost.
Leave me
even if you're an oral sex demon. I love
I'm
those.
like, my patience is at a thin right now. I will fuck you up, ghost.
I'll fight you, bitch.
I'll fight you. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Oh, I was at Noreen's house. You know how shit always goes down at her house. Noreen, I'm gonna talk shit about you. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, she said that Gabri, her daughter, had lost her tablet, and she's like, "Mommy, can you call the tablet?" And she's like, "Sure." So she tried to call it, and it was like a gray, like it wasn't working. She couldn't dial out. And then she said that out of nowhere, the tablet starts calling her. And she's like, "Gabri, stop calling." And she's like, "Mom, how can I call you if I don't have my tablet?" So then she said she like forgot about it or whatever. And then when she was going to the kitchen, the tablet was like on the table, but like no one was near it. There was no one else there. Like, so someone was calling her from the tablet, but there was no one at her house. And I was just like, bitch, she's like, what if I answered? I'm like, you should have.
Different timelines.
Because remember last time we picked up.
What if she answered and it was Gabri, but Gabri was sitting next to her?
Oh, fuck.
I told her to answer, but I think she's like, nah, I don't want to.
Never mind.
Yeah, she's on a.
Aliens scare her, so.
But because like that one time that we answered the phone and it was like a man. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember you told me, yeah.
We answered, there was like a FaceTime call. We answered it and it was like a man. It was, I think we were calling her mom and a man answered. But when we called her mom back, like there's no man. Or something like that. I don't remember. It was a while back. But we saw a dark guy with like spiky hair. And
was he saying anything?
No. What was that?
I don't know. What? Maybe it was probably one of the kids. Maybe.
Yep.
We'll go with that.
Well, the bathroom's also right here. So if Nick's in the bathroom.
Okay, yeah.
We'll go with that.
We heard Nick fart.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
That's what it was.
His fart was so loud, it made the whole wall move.
Yep. That was weird, but okay.
It was like this. But on the wall, right?
It was probably that man that was FaceTiming her.
Also, another weird thing happened yesterday while I was at the mall. So we were shopping for Vanessa's prom dress, my sister. She looks so beautiful in all the dresses. And the dress that she picked happened to be one that I picked.
Can't believe it's her prom.
I know.
That's
I'm
like
so excited
weird.
and
It's so
sad at
weird.
the same time. Yeah, remember she was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my little baby. So we were at the mall. My little sister Sophia was with us. Of course, I had both the kids with me. She wanted to go to Kids Journey, so we went. Her and my mom were like looking for some shoes, and me and Vanessa were sitting on the chairs on the side, and then I had the double stroller with the kids. And we were like, I was busy talking to my sister, and I saw a lady in my peripheral vision, and I saw her staring at me, but I just was like, whatever. And then she was like, oh my God, I love your earrings. Where'd you get them? And they were the ones that you bought me, the Ojo earrings. And I was like, oh, it's like my friend bought them in Laredo. And she goes, oh, are they heavy? And I was like, no. And then she's like, oh, they're very pretty. And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, thanks. And then I continued on with my sister. She goes, I have a question. She's like, are you here from San Antonio? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, I'm with like this agency, and like we work with insurance, and like we like to educate the community. She's like, are you interested in like furthering your career than where you're at right now? And I was like, sure. Like I was like, fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyways, she was basically telling me that she wanted to do like a Zoom call meeting with me, not now, but later, if we could exchange numbers. So I gave her my number, and then I was like, okay, well, do you have a business card? Like, I'd rather have a business card. And she's like, I just ran out of business cards. And I was like, okay. And she goes, well, I can text you my my website, and you can see like it's legit. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So I exchanged my number with her. My mom came, and then we left. So I see my mom turn around. She looked, and we're walking. She goes, did that lady go in there to look at shoes? And I was like, honestly, I don't know. I didn't see her walk in. I was like, I wasn't really paying attention because I was with the kids and Vanessa. We were like trying to occupy them. And she goes, because as soon as we left, she left. So she's like, if she was in there looking for shoes, like it's almost like she just went in there to like
follow
to
you.
talk to me. Yeah. So then she ended up texting me, but I blocked her number because it just, after my mom told me that, I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird. It felt weird. Yeah. I shouldn't have given her my number, but
I mean, at least it's blocked, but that seems very human trafficker-ish of her.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Especially
Human
like out of
trafficker-ish.
nowhere, and then like, oh, I just ran out of cards.
We recruit people that are put together just such as yourself. Girl, I was not put together. I was wearing jeans that were ripped, like tennis shoes. I was wearing my Converse. Like my hair was all crazy. Like I probably looked tired with the kids. Like, you know, like it was just weird. I don't know. Maybe like because I was with the kids and my sister. I don't know. It was weird.
No one ever comes up to me like that. And I feel like because I have I'm not a mean person, but I have such a like resting bitch face. And I'm just like, I look unapproachable probably.
See, normally people don't approach me, but I was sitting there. We were laughing with the kids about something. So I don't know. It was weird. I really just thought she was complimenting my earrings. But it just felt, after my mom told me that, it felt weird.
Yeah.
It was random. She didn't tell me the name of her company either. So.
Okay, that's another red flag.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, she didn't tell me the name of her company. So my sister's like, did she text you? And I was like, yeah, but I blocked her call. Or I blocked her number. She goes, okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, because people these days, it's just wild.
You never know.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, like after the pandemic and stuff, they've all been locked up. Like in their houses, who knows? They go all crazy,
all cooped up,
all cabin fever and shit.
Well, I haven't told the audience or anyone, but I mean, yeah, but I've told y'all what happened to me that one time. So like how I was asleep and then I woke up because Voodoo was making these like weird noises. I had already told y'all, but
oh yeah,
Voodoo was making weird noises, and so I got up and he's just like looking like at one corner in the room, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then like I'm in and out of sleep because I mean, I just woke up out of nowhere. So as soon as I'm starting to close my eyes again, I hear, "I'm not done with you yet." And it was a man's voice. And I was like, what? And I'm like, I don't live with no men. There's no men around my house. My neighbors are literally like these nice couple lesbians, you know? I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, is it the TV? But I'm like, no, my TV's not on. I checked my phone. It was 3 a.m. And I'm like, oh, perfect. Great. Whatever it is, it's not done with me.
You literally was talking to Voodoo. What if he had like a little pass before when you found him?
Oh, I don't know. But Voodoo was just staring at one corner. And so then after that, I felt hot, like from my throat all the way to my stomach. I felt like it was burning. And then I sat up and I'm like, is this heartburn? Like, I'm like,
it's all Voodoo talking to you. I'm not done with you yet, Mom.
No, you dumb fucking bitch. No,
Last
and
night
then
it was Willow calling my name. Mandy, wake up.
Imagine. Dude. Shapeshifter.
Shapeshifter.
Yeah, mine was a man voice
Skinwalker. They're skinwalkers.
They're following us. Anyway, I ended up just turning on the TV, played some nice drag queens, and ended up falling back to sleep. And that's what happened. But that just gave me the chills because he was like, I'm not done with you yet. And I'm like, done what? Like, are you having sex with me? What's going on?
He's like, I'm coming back.
I'm coming. Just kidding. No, but that freaked me out a little. A little, you know, just a little bit.
Just a
tad.
little bit.
Just a little bit.
So today's episode is going to be centered around St. Patrick's Day, right?
St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day. St. Patrick's Day.
A day after. Or 2 days after.
Look, guys, we didn't record the Sunday before. Why didn't we? What happened? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we know why.
Had some shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Baby, it's all right. It's okay.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Anyways,
life happens.
Life happened again. So we're
Life
recording.
happened.
So this episode will be coming out after St. Patty's Day, but I'm sure you all will appreciate it anyways.
Yes.
And it's one episode away from you leaving, right? Because you get to record with us one more time before you leave. Yeah.
And then you leave.
I'm going on a cruise, you guys. I'm going to show my titties to everyone. Just
Bring me
kidding.
those beads.
I'm literally going to go with like my aunts and my uncles. That would be so embarrassing if I'm out there acting a
They're
fool.
all going to show their nipples and titties. It's fine.
Probably.
Okay, what happens on the cruise stays on the cruise.
Yep. But remember that story we talked about on the cruise where that girl went missing?
Yes,
I'm going to
don't go
keep
missing.
my eyeballs on the lookout.
Yes.
I
See
am.
if you see any sea monsters or like any ghosts.
Ooh, like ghosts on the ship.
Yes, ghost ship.
That'd be
I
cool.
can go ghost hunting by myself.
Yes, don't do that
by yourself. Don't go by yourself.
I can
That's how
because
you
I'll
get
go
kidnapped.
missing.
Come on, that's how you get kidnapped.
Like that. I'll go missing like that girl.
Bitch,
If
they'll
you
throw
go
you-
with,
they'll
like,
throw you off
somebody-
I'll say they're gonna throw you off the bus. They're gonna throw you off the ship. You know what you're gonna do?
Oh my God.
You're gonna live with the dolphins. There's no dolphins out there.
I'm gonna be like Peter Griffin when he comes out with the dolphins all fat.
Shut up.
But no, seriously, I'm gonna keep an extra eye out on the watch, and then whenever we get off in, where the fuck am I going? The Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just stay with my family. Like, I am not even gonna go restroom without someone. I'm fucking paranoid. Paranoid. But yeah,
Stick close
Anyway.
together. It's gonna be
I'm
fun.
gonna go have fun.
It's gonna be fine.
Yes.
Fine.
I will not let my anxiety get the best of me. Oh. All right. Anyway.
Anywho, I'm gonna talk about history.
I was like, what? Say it. Say it.
I'm gonna talk about history. Okay.
Channel.
Okay, so St. Patrick's Day is celebrated annually on March 17th, and it is actually the anniversary of St. Patrick's death. So he was said to have died in the 5th century, and the Irish have observed this day as a religious holiday for over 1,000 years. And St. Patrick's Day also falls during the Lent season. So Irish families would traditionally, they would like attend church in the morning, and then they would do like a St. Patrick's Day celebration in the afternoon. And it was said that like because it was his birthday, it would kind of like the like the restrictions of Lent would kind of like be lifted for that one day. And so they would be able to dance, drink, and feast. On the traditional meal of St. Patrick's Day is Irish bacon and cabbage. So, if you want to eat bacon and cabbage, you can do it on St. Patrick's Day for Lent because it don't count on that day, apparently.
Cabbage smells like fart.
It does. I don't like the way it tastes.
I like the way it tastes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so St. Patrick lived during the 5th century, and he was a patron saint of Ireland and was a national apostle. Is that how you say it? Apostle? Mm-hmm. He was born in Roman Britain, and actually he was kidnapped and brought to Ireland as a slave at the age of 16. He then later escaped but returned to Ireland and was credited with bringing Christianity to the people. So that's why St. Patrick's Day and like Lent kind of like go hand in hand together. Yeah. So following his death, which was believed to be on March 17th in 461, the mythology surrounding his life became even more ingrained with the Irish culture. And apparently he was also the one that explained the Holy Trinity to everybody. And so he used 3 leaves, one to symbolize the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And it was actually the 3 leaves of the shamrock, the Irish clover, is what he used to explain the Father, Son, Holy Spirit to everybody. So that's kind of why it like coincides with Christianity. And so the first St. Patrick's Day was celebrated on March 17th in 1601 in a Spanish colony, which is now known as St. Augustine in Florida. And it was a parade, and they, of course, did the Irish bacon and cabbage. And then later on, as the years took on, like it started becoming like a bigger celebration with like beer and all that kind of stuff. So it started off holy, and then it slowly, as the years went on, turned into a party.
Turned into sin.
Woo!
Sin.
Is what it turned
Not
into.
you, sin. But sin.
Yeah. And then so over the next 35 years, that's when it started becoming more Americanized, because Irish patriotism started coming to America when the Irish started to migrate like over here. And in 1848, several New York Irish aid societies decided to unite their parades, and they formed the official, what is still today, the New York City St. Patrick's Day Parade. So it is apparently one of the oldest and largest civilian parades in the United States, which each year brings in more and more people. So over 150,000 participants. And now up to this date, it has nearly 3 million people that march 1.5 miles, and which takes more than 5 hours to finish. So it's like one of the largest parades like in the whole world, I guess, if you want to say. The other ones that have big parades are also Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, and Savannah. They also celebrate the day with a huge parade, which involves between 10,000 and 20,000 participants. In 2020 and 2021, because of COVID, these parades were like canceled, so they didn't have anything for that. In Chicago, along with the parade, they also dye the river green. I've seen this like on TV every now and then, like they dye the entire thing. But before, when they first started, they would actually use the green dye to like see if people would dump like illegal substances into the river. Like, when they're trying to catch people and they dump it in the river. They use the dye, and somehow like it helps like see if there's any illegal substances in there. This one guy thought it would be a good idea to use the green dye like for St. Patrick's Day. So then they started doing it, and they would dump at least 100 pounds of green vegetable dye into the river, and it would stay green for an entire week. But over the years, like, environmentalists came in and were like, that's not good for the water, like, blah, blah, blah. So they now only use 40 pounds of dye, and it only stays green for a couple of hours. So it's shorten the time instead of like a whole
Does
week.
it just like dissolve? Because they do that here in San Antonio too. At
I
the
think
river,
so.
But, I mean, our river's already kind of green.
I'm like,
but
it's naturally green.
Yeah. But I always wondered, like, does it just disappear? Do the fish eat it? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I think it like dissolves. Like, you know, eventually like in water, everything kind of like disintegrates after a while. So apparently, Chicago, a lot of historians like to claim that Chicago came up with the idea of dyeing the Green River because once they did it, like a lot of other cities around the world started doing that. But apparently, this dyeing a river green dates back to 1813 because in 1961, a hotel restaurant manager named Tom Woolley convinced city officials to dye Savannah's river green. It didn't exactly work out. It didn't turn green. It turned like just a slight green hue, but it wasn't like green like it is. So apparently they say this guy was the one who came up with the idea to dye a river green and not Chicago, but either way, it still looks cool. Okay, so you know how like St. Patrick's Day is connected to like partying, beer, and all that kind of stuff? Well, actually, back then in the 1970s through 1995. In Ireland, it was actually mandated that the pubs be closed for St. Patrick's Day. But over time, the Irish government started to realize that it started becoming more of a party. So to kind of drive up tourism and showcase like Irish culture and keep up with like the rest of the world, they were just like, okay, so they decided to open up all the pubs. But originally, every pub was supposed to be closed because it was like a religious like holiday. And then last but not least, how do leprechauns kind of fit into this whole thing? So the original Irish name for these figures of folklore, I'm going to butcher this, but is Lobarcin, Lobaarcin. Lobarcin?
That sounds right to me.
Yes.
It basically means small-bodied fellow. So belief in leprechauns, they say
small body fellow.
So apparently this is supposed to stem from Celtic belief in fairies or tiny men and women who could use their magical power to serve good or evil. In Celtic folk tales, leprechauns were cranky souls responsible for mending the shoes of other fairies. So they're like cobblers and, you know, usually leprechauns are like all men. Like you don't really see women leprechauns, but over time, like once in a while, there's like some women ones, but mostly they're men and they're like cobblers. They were known for their like trickery, which they often used to protect their much fabled treasure, which is the pot of gold. That's where that comes in. And actually, leprechauns have their own holiday on May 13th, but they are majorly celebrated on St. Patrick's Day. And that's it. That's all the facts I found.
Woo.
Yay.
Ooh, baby,
I'll be stuck to you like glue. That song's been in my head. Sorry.
So
That's interesting.
So yeah. It was religious until
until we became sinners.
Which is the lucky one, the 3 or the 4 clover?
It's supposed to be
4?
4-leaf.
4, right? Because there's always
those are
3.
rare. Yeah.
Nice. I always used to be sitting outside my aunt's house looking like for 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah.
She had that little patch of grass. All right, I think I'm second. All right, creepy, kooky kids.
Kooky. What would you say? Kooky, spooky.
Okay, so I have 2 stories and then some facts for you guys. This one story, I found it on Reddit. So, I guess it's fictional. This story is called "The Leprechaun That I Caught Granted Me One Wish I Always Wanted, and Now I'm in Deep Trouble."
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Yeah. Okay, so this says, I was tending to my priced garden in my backyard. Gardening was the one thing in the world that I truly consistently enjoyed doing. But I won't ever be able to do that again when the police eventually break down my door with a warrant. Let me explain to you what happened and how I got into this mess. this completely horrifying, evil, manipulative mess. I was watering my plants in my garden a week ago when I noticed that something was moving in one of my bushes. Damn rabbits, I thought. I went to inspect what could it have been. What I found there instead shocked me. There was no rabbit or animal. It was a young man. A very short young man, dressed as a leprechaun, with his foot tangled around a vine, struggling to get free. This scene looked straight out of a fairy tale book. He wore a green hat, green pants, black dress shoes, a gold vest with a white shirt underneath, and a black tie. How fancy. He sounds fancy. He stared at me with wide eyes, which were incredibly vivid blue mixed with gray. I stared back at him in silent shock for what felt like forever before I managed to speak. "What the hell are you doing?" I asked. He simply gave me a weak smile in response. "Damn, I guess you finally caught me," he said before laughing and slapping his knee. "Looks like I owe you a wish, but can you promise to untie my leg once I grant it for you?" I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I finally found him. This creepy dude was snooping back here for how long exactly? I glared at him before speaking again. "You're clearly nuts, dude. I'll get your foot untangled, but you'll have to leave right after and never come back or I'll call the police." The young man looked amused at my threat and stared above my head as if wondering what to say back to me. "Well, I'm afraid the cops won't be able to do much about that since they couldn't be able to see me. Only the owner of this house can see me." "What are you talking about?" I asked the guy. "Haven't you figured it out by now?" he answered. "I'm a leprechaun." My annoyance and anger turned into laughter. Who did this guy think he was fooling? "A leprechaun, huh?" I asked mockingly. "I thought you guys were supposed to be old and Irish." He laughed at my question. "You humans are far too gullible. We age just like humans do. We're born as infants and grow old. We do eventually die, but we live far longer than humans." I actually found myself interested in this guy's story and continued to stay quiet as he went on. "We can be born anywhere in the world. I was born in this country and I've been living here on this property for at least a dozen years before you moved in." He pointed to the trees behind my house, and after he finished his last sentence, he said, "What's your wish?" He asked me confidently. "It can be anything your heart desires, so really think about it." I thought about what I truly wanted for a few minutes as he observed me anxiously from the bush. I eventually thought about my ex-boyfriend Kyle, who cheated on me with my ex-best friend Sarah. That bitch always had to copy me. My blood boiled as I remembered catching them in the act.
What?
Oh, hell no.
This got juicy.
Yeah. She said, "I know what I want to wish for. I want my ex-boyfriend and his new girlfriend to disappear from existence forever." The leprechaun smiled widely, showing his impossibly white teeth. "Is that what you really want?" "Yes," I responded with no hesitation. "I want them to just go away." "It's a deal," said the leprechaun. "But first, you need to free me and then shake my hand to make this official." It says, I managed to untie him from the vine with a few minutes. He stood to his feet. He couldn't have been more than a foot tall. He stretched out his hand for me to shake it with a friendly smile on his trim, brown, bearded face. "One more thing," he said. "After we shake on this deal, you'll never hear from me or see me again for as long as you live." So it says, I took his hand and shook it as I nodded in agreement with his terms. I saw his smile take on a sinister look right before everything went black.
Oh, shit.
So it says, when I came to it, I was standing in front of Sarah's house. I was confused at first to why I was there, but then I noticed a blood-stained knife in my hand. Along with my bloody soaked clothes, I didn't even need to think about what had just happened. This leprechaun tricked me. But I never thought they would ever stoop to framing people for murder. I ran straight out of Sarah's house into the night until I got home. I didn't sleep a wink that night. I just sat on my couch until I got a call the next morning from my friend Patricia informing me that Sarah and Kyle were found murdered this morning. I dropped my phone upon hearing the words. I didn't want them to be murdered. I really didn't. All I wanted was for them to vanish into thin air. I've already been visited by investigators twice since the murder, and I know they're closing their case soon. I keep pretending like I don't know what could have happened to them when the cops have questioned me. I can't tell them the truth. That would make them think I'm really crazy. This is a warning to all of you reading this. Never trust a leprechaun. And that is the story.
Well, damn.
I know. I'm like, damn, bitch, you really have to go murder them.
You wish for.
They always find a loophole somewhere.
You gotta be specific.
Now I want to go look around in the bushes.
Especially because they're like fairy descendants. Like fairies like are so tricky. Like you have to use like certain language and use your words carefully because they'll freaking find that little
loophole.
Yep. That little tiny butthole to get you.
This one, this is another story, and this is actually a real story.
Oh,
but I forgot what website I got it from because I'm a dork and I had written it down, but now it's not in my notes. So I'm sorry. This one says, "Hi, my name is Georgie." Hi, I'm Georgie. Hi, my name is Georgie and I'm from England. I am now 19 and have since moved houses. This happened to me when I was 14 and lived in another house. The house was big and a Victorian style, and there was always a quite freaky feel about it. I always hated the night because I felt like something was in my room. But I would just put my head under the cupboard and waited till I fell asleep. This particular night, when I went to bed, I did my usual routine and I fell asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night and sat up. In front of my bed was a dressing table. I looked at my dressing table and there was a tiny person sitting on there, but he was green. This sounds silly, but it looked like a little leprechaun. I looked at it and he looked back at me. And then when I realized what it was, I started screaming. The more I screamed, the more it laughed at me. My mom came running in my room and it looked at her and she turned the light on and he disappeared. I've never seen it since and I don't know why it was there. It sounds so unreal and everyone I tell thinks that I was just dreaming, but I know I wasn't. And it was weird how I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I was so scared but couldn't look away. I'm just wondering if anyone has any ideas of what this could have been. Thank you for reading my story. I think it was a leprechaun. What else could it be?
If it's a leprechaun.
Unless it was like a little demon or
Don't
something.
ever steal leprechaun's gold. Find gold, leave it there, bitch.
They'll find you.
You fucking leave that shit there.
How do you know it's like a leprechaun gold or if someone just dropped something?
I don't know. Just don't touch it. I don't know.
If it's gold,
I've seen all the leprechaun movies. There, even like when somebody found like a gold chain, like the leprechaun was there, like killing them.
Scary.
Not today.
So then this is my last one. I just found 15 lucky things you probably didn't know about leprechauns. Number 1. Leprechauns, I totally yelled. Leprechauns are fairies. Although they might not match your initial idea of what a fairy is. Leprechauns are considered a part of their family. Like other fairies, they're small in size and prone to mischief. That makes sense. 2, there aren't any female leprechauns. It says, as a way of explaining why there's no record of a female leprechaun, some sources claim leprechauns are the unwanted children of the fairy community. Aww. As a result, leprechauns are described as grouchy, untrusting, and solitary creatures.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
Number 3, there's a leprechaun colony in Portland, Oregon.
Really?
After noticing a small circular hole in the concrete where a light pole was meant to be, a journalist named Dick, great name, took it upon himself to make use of it after adding flowers and a tiny sign that proclaimed the words, "World's Smallest Park." Oh, so they just made a little park for leprechauns.
Oh,
that's cute.
You just see little leprechauns on the swing.
What's up, bitches? Number 4, leprechaun means small body. I think you had said that, right? Mm-hmm. Number 5, sometimes leprechauns are red. Although the Little Irishmen are now synonymous, I don't know what that means, with the color green, they weren't always. Early accounts of leprechauns describe them as wearing red and sporting a variety of hats. Bro, leprechauns can dress.
They can.
They have a fucking sense of style.
They look dapper.
Number 6 says the leprechauns have a troublesome cousin called, oh shit, I can't say this word. Chloricans. Also sporting red is a rambitious chlorican. A mythical creature that shares many I can't talk today. Characteristics with the leprechaun. It's spelled Clurichaun. How would you even say that? Chlorican?
Chlorican?
Number 7, leprechaun.
It's a claricon. Like
Claricon.
a leprechaun. Claricon.
Bitch, how can I not say? I'm a clerkin.
It's a mischievous fairy in Irish folklore, known for their great love of drinking and a tendency to hunt breweries and pubs and wine cellars.
Hey.
Is my uncle a clerkin?
Yes, I'm a claricon.
You're all at the breweries.
All cranky.
I'll go to the wine cellars and hunt those.
Give me my book.
Hello. Number 7 says leprechauns are the bankers and cobblers of the fairy world. Wait. Oh, I thought those were goblins.
I know, when you said banks, I thought of goblins from like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, me too.
I thought it too. I'm like, wait.
It says leprechauns are known for their money and there's apparently a lot of it in the cobbling business. Since they spend most of their time alone, the tiny green men pour all their energy into crafting shoes. They're said to always have a hammer and a shoe in hand. According to a legend, you can hear them coming by the telltale tapping sound they make. I don't know what that has to do with banking.
So are the 7
okay.
dwarves really leprechauns? Because they like to build.
Are they? Hi ho. That's my song.
No, I don't know.
Number 8, we all know this. Leprechauns are sneaky. Number 9, leprechauns can be generous if you're kind to them. But you got to be careful because that's where they trick you. You know what I mean? Let's see. Number 10, someone claims to have found the remains of an actual leprechaun. In 1989, a local businessman in Carlingford, Ireland, claimed to have found evidence of a real leprechaun on a mountain called Slieve Foy. He said that after hearing a scream near the wishing well, he found bones, a tiny suit, and gold coins. That's fucking random. That is so weird.
Did he keep it?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if it says more. Wait. The evidence is now displayed behind a glass case for visitors to come see.
Put it on the list, Gato.
Put it on the list. Okay, number 11. I'm almost done. Leprechauns are protected under European law. Apparently, there are 236 leprechauns that still live in the caverns of Slieve Foy. In 2009, the European, I guess Europe. What does EU mean? Guys, I'm dumb,
Euro.
okay? Oh. Granted heritage status to the remaining wee people. They now have their own protected sanctuary nestled in the mountains. Okay. Weird. Number 12. Some people say leprechauns can live underwater. Okay, that's freaky. Like, they can live anywhere. The earliest known folk tale to feature a leprechaun comes from the Middle Ages. What the hell? He awakens to find 3 little bodies, attempting to drag him into their undersea lair. The king captures them but releases them after he promised 3 wishes. This story suggests that the mythical men are sea dwellers as well, but modern takes on the myth do not often include this lifestyle. So they can either be underwater or on land.
There's so many like versions and forms of leprechauns. Like,
I had no idea
all
until I
over the
started reading
world.
these.
What if they're leprechauns, but they're like mermaids?
Leper maids.
Leprechauns.
Damn. Sorry, leprechauns. Don't be mean. We're giving y'all some good.
They're Macons,
Feedback.
Mercons,
Mercons.
Mercanos.
Number 13, leprechauns might have a divine heritage. Some sources say leprechauns are I can't talk. Derivatives of the Irish deity, look, god of the sun. Okay, so maybe they're gods. Okay.
They're like worshippers.
I don't know. I can't really read today. Number 14 says you can pretend to be a leprechaun for a good cause. In March, there are marathons all over the country that encourage their participants to dress like leprechauns. So if you want to be a hoe and go run fucking a lot of miles in a leprechaun outfit, do your thing and go. Number 15, you can make your own leprechaun trap. Let's do that. Making a leprechaun trap is a great activity to share with your children this St. Patrick's Day. All you need to get started is something shiny to lure the little men. The traps can be simple as shoeboxes or as elaborate as your family can imagine. Although no one has caught anything yet that we know of, it doesn't hurt to try.
You can use your family cauldron.
Look at the little box. You could decorate a box, you guys,
Cute.
and put a little coin in there and catch a leprechaun if you want.
Okay, are you ready?
Are you ready?
So I found this on WordPress. If you don't know what that is, it's a blog site. And they wrote this 10 years ago. So this was back in like
2010?
2012.
Oh, 12. Oh, wait,
22.
where are we in?
We're 22. We've been out of high school already.
2012.
That's right. Okay.
I did math. No, I'm just kidding. I Googled it to make sure. I just wanted to sound smart. I'm an honest dummy.
I used a calculator.
I did. Look, it's right here. It was Sunday, January 1st, 2012. So this girl and her husband lived on a like storage facility site. So they were living in a house or like an apartment complex that was connected to like a storage unit.
Uh-huh.
So in their laundry room, they had a doorway that was connected to a long hallway that led to the storage unit, but that door always stayed closed and never opened at all. So just kind of have that in mind. So basically she said that their apartment connected to the storage facility by a long, dark, cold hallway and the laundry area. And every night she has to walk past the doorway to get to the bedroom. And she said normally when her husband Philip, when they go to bed at the same time, she doesn't notice it. But whenever her husband goes to sleep before her and she has to pass by it, like she gets like these chills. And like on the door, there's like this little tiny peephole, and she always pictures herself like wanting like go in and like look in the peephole, but she's scared that she's gonna see somebody like standing on the other side who shouldn't be there. So she's just like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do it. So she said one night around this time of year, so she wrote this 10 years ago, so this was probably this year around March. She said it was days leading up to St. Patrick's Day. Weird things started to happen. She said at first that they didn't notice anything strange because customers come in and out of the facilities all day. And she said that sometimes people do weird things. So like she said they're finding like pee in the hallway. And then like a lot of that is because like people are drunk at night and like they pee in the hallway of the facility or whatever. She said at first, like, things in her gardens, like the decorations were like missing or like they were reappearing broken. Small pile of leaves were being left in front of her husband's office. A pair of shoes were on top of her car one morning. So they figured it was probably like somebody going through like their storage unit, because, you know, storage units are open 24 hours for their customers. So they figured it was just like somebody like going through stuff or whatever in the storage units. So they woke up one morning and with the bedroom windows open, and they couldn't remember opening them the night before. One night at 3 a.m., the bedroom's light began to wildly turning off and on, waking them up, and then it stopped quickly as it began. So as soon as they woke up, the light stopped flickering.
Whoa.
So they were like, what the hell? So that morning when they woke up, the bathroom mirror was shattered. And then in the living room, all of the furniture was stacked into a big pile with the coffee table that was impossibly balanced on top of it. And like it was basically going to fall at any moment. So like they walked into the living room and all their furniture was just piled on top of each other.
Oh, fuck.
That's weird.
So the night before St. Patrick's Day, she didn't want to stay home. Her husband, Philip, had to work the next day, so they had to stay there at the apartment. So they were both on edge at that point because like a whole bunch of weird crap was like happening. So thankfully she had school and was able to get away for a few hours that day, but she dreaded coming home. And she said that she just had this like weird feeling that something awful was going to happen. So she said when she got home, she went to her husband Philip's office, which was on site. She went inside to see how he was doing, but he seemed like really stressed out because it was a really busy day and like customers were just being like difficult about getting their storage spaces open. So she said as soon as she walked into the apartment, she felt like somebody was watching her. She also noticed that it was absolutely freezing inside, even though it was super sunny outside. She said that she checked the windows to see if any of them were unexplainably open again, but they were all closed. She said that she walked down the hall towards the bedroom and found the source of the cold. The door that was connecting their apartment to the facility was wide open, and a very cold draft was coming in from the dark hallway. So she said that she ran and closed the door, and she was like super scared, and because like they always kept it closed and they always kept it locked, nobody came in and out. So she said after that she ran to her husband's office, and she was super scared, and he was super shocked because they never again opened that door. So he went over there and like there was like nobody there. So her husband said that something weird happened. While she was at school, the power had been going off and on all day, kind of similar to like their lights flickering. That was happening to the power. Like the power is flickering on and off all day. Despite the perfect weather, this is happening. And so like he said that in his office, his TV screen was showing like a feed of security cameras. And Philip said that he had been seeing people walk around the facility, but nobody ever came out the front gate. And when he would walk back to see where they were. And then he would see like, you know, the people rummaging through like their storages or whatever. So whatever, they didn't think anything of it. They're like, it has to be some coincidence. Maybe somebody accidentally walked in there. Like they were trying to come up with like all these explanations to like make themselves feel better. So she said as he started telling her like that they needed to just like calm down and coming up with all these different explanations, they just said they were walking back to their apartment at this point. So they said when they slowly approached the door to see maybe who had opened the door in the hallway, they heard somebody run in the kitchen and like open and close all of the cupboards in their kitchen. So then they turned around, they went to the kitchen, and they heard somebody scurrying and running back to the hallway. And then the door slammed shut. So then they ran to the door and they were like trying to peep through the peephole. They couldn't see anything. So then on the other side of the door, somebody was like banging on the door. They couldn't see anybody through the peephole, so they ran back. So then when they ran away from it, when they were going to run out of the apartment, that hallway, the door slammed open, and then they heard like this. They said it was like a loud mechanical laughter, like echoing through the apartment house. And like it said it was almost like there was like white speakers everywhere. It was like they were like in the dome, and they just heard like all this noise. Like it was getting louder and louder and louder, and it was to the point where like it was hurting their ears. They said that they felt that their ears were like gonna bleed. So they ran outside to escape it, and when they ran outside, they escaped whatever that sound was, right? So at this point, they were like beyond frustrated. They were like, is somebody playing a joke on us? Like, this isn't funny. That means like if somebody's like living, like maybe a homeless person's living there, like this is ridiculous. Like they're coming in our house, they're invading our privacy, whatever. So finally they go back inside, and she basically said like, we regret it at this point. We should not have gone back inside. Like what I saw, I can't unsee. So they said they walked back inside, and there standing on the table were 3 leprechauns. They're dressed in dark robes with long beards, glowing red eyes that were basically like they hurt to look at. Their noses were long and gnarled, and their nails were thick and black. She said the biggest of the 3 had like a long stick in his hand, which she figured after she did some research, she said it's called a shillelagh. So she said it's a mythical staff of leprechauns. They use that basically like for fighting. So she said they were like warrior leprechauns or something. So she said that taller leprechaun pointed right at them, and then all three of them began chanting in like a strange language. And she said as they chanted, their voice got louder and louder and louder, and then they climbed off the dining room table and then walked towards them. So they tried to move, but they were like completely frozen in their tracks. They were like, they could not move at all. They couldn't even budge. It's like they couldn't even breathe either. Everything just kind of like froze in place. She said the power abruptly went out, and the only light source were the glowing red eyes of the leprechauns.
Oh my God.
And she said that they inched closer and closer, and she said that they got so close to them that if she just reached like her pinky out, it was like she can touch them. That's how close they got. Then she said that the lights shot back on, and then they were gone. And her and her husband were kind of like, what the fuck did we just see? So basically, since then, they have not seen the leprechauns. They don't know what they were chanting. They don't know what they wanted. They try not to think about them that much. Now she never goes to bed after her husband. They make sure they go to bed together. They're never in the house alone.
Fuck no.
So this is
way.
This was the next year. So this was in 2012. So 2013. She said St. Patrick's Day is like coming near, and so far like nothing has happened. There hasn't been any like weird things happening, no jokes playing, nothing. But they still have that door like completely closed off. Like they even put like stuff in front of that door to make sure whatever was in there doesn't come out.
And sealed it.
But also, like, I wouldn't live there anymore.
Yeah,
I would move.
Why don't y'all just move? I mean,
Yeah,
I know
fuck
it's
that.
easier said than done, but like, if it's something that scary, bye, bitch.
Especially if
Yeah.
something's walking towards you and chanting. Like, fuck no. Hell no.
And then I was like,
Oh
well,
my
maybe
gosh.
it was like people like playing jokes on her. And I was like, nah,
How could it be three little people? Like, how could one
Glowing red eyes.
chanting.
No.
I really want to know what they wanted though. Like, were they just trying to torment them, or maybe because that was their space, or
I don't know. But if they're so worried about it being during that time, I would suggest a hotel for that week.
Right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Leave for that week.
Leave for
I
that
would
whole week.
glue
Get a
everything
Airbnb.
down to the floor.
that's so crazy, right?
That
Oh
is
my
crazy.
God.
I don't know what I would have had.
I was
Done.
picturing like them being. It's almost like sleep paralysis, but you're awake, like you can't
Yeah.
move. You're just like frozen in place. Like you
no.
want to scream, but you can't. You want to breathe, but you can't. Like I felt that when I was reading it too. So that's how I was like,
No, thank you.
okay.
No, thank you.
So my next story is kind of sad, and I think it might be too soon to talk about something like this, but I think it's great to bring awareness, especially for the people around you. So back in 2019 in Northern Ireland, there was a teen disco that was happening at a hotel, and 3 teens died because of this. They were crushed by the crowd.
Oh, shit.
So this girl, one of the survivors, actually wrote into a YouTuber, and I forgot his name. He's almost like a Mr. Nightmare. But the survivor wrote into him and told her side of the story. She called herself Lauren, for legal reasons.
Is it the Tailmaster? Because he kind of sounds like
I think so.
Mr. Nightmare.
Yeah, he kind of sounds like Mr. Nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wrote in, she changed her name to Lauren. So she said her and her friends were getting ready to go to this hotel. What was it called? The hotel. The Greenvale Hotel in Northern Ireland. So the girls were getting ready to go to like this hotel because they were hosting like a youth bash or whatever. And they were like 16, 17, like, so like high school students were going out there to party. So the whole thing in Ireland was because...
Teen night.
Yeah, like teen night. Yeah, like how they used to do here. So like for St. Patrick's Day, it was like this huge celebration. So the teens always pre-gamed before going out, right? 'Cause that's like, you know, the thing you pre-game. Yeah.
'cause
You can get your alcohol at home. So her and her friends did that. They pre-gamed, they took a taxi, they went to the hotel. And as soon as they got to the hotel, they saw that there was a long line outside. So it was overpopulated. So like the hotel couldn't manage the capacity of people that were in there. So the hotel manager came out and told them like, hey, we're going to mark your hands with stamps. And then whoever the last person with the stamp comes in, I'm sorry, but like we don't have enough capacity to hold everybody. There's too many people here. Like, I'm sorry, but once this last person is stamped, that's it. You can't come in. So it was Lauren and her friends. They got stamped. And then a few people after them, then they stopped stamping because that was max capacity. And so they went ahead and yelled out, okay, like that's it. Everybody else has to go home. Well, these are crazy teenagers. Everybody's drunk. So then the crowd starts compressing forward. So unfortunately, Lauren and her 3 friends get pushed up against a brick wall. And she says that like it's like nobody had like no crowd etiquette. Like they didn't give a shit of what was going on. Like people, like these guys were like laughing and like people were just drunk and like out of their minds. And she said that she saw a guy that was also being crushed. He just turned pale white and like he fell to the floor. And he was one of her classmates and one of her friends. So she said that she managed to scream out, stop, stop. My friend fell. You're stomping on him. You're crushing him. He's dying. Because they're just stomping all over him. They're not caring. They're trying to get inside the damn hotel. Mind you, she also said that they're screaming for help. But there was like no security, nothing outside to like control the crowd. So the crowd was just like buck wild trying to get in. So she managed to scream that. And she said right before she felt herself passing out, she just saw like a group of guys like laughing, trying to go inside the hotel, like push forward, push forward. So everybody's like pushing forward. So she said that's the last thing she remembers. And she woke up in the hospital. So I actually found the news article. And she said that it was confirmed, or the news article says that it was confirmed that a 17-year-old girl, a 17-year-old boy, and a 16-year-old boy died in the incident, which took place at the Greenville Hotel in Cookson County, Tyrone. Another 16-year-old girl was in stable condition, which is this Lauren that wrote in. Mm-hmm. She was treated for her injuries and on her way home. In the preliminary investigation show that there was a crush towards the front of the hotel, and that in that crush of people had like fallen down because they were being crushed against that brick wall that leading into the hotel, and that there was basically like nobody there like to help. So like the hotel like didn't get held responsible for it. Like there was like all these excuses saying that it was all about like crowd etiquette. Like yeah, the hotel should have like gotten more security on their end, but they also didn't expect it to get that wild. So like it's the news. They cover things up. They use excuse after excuse, but basically like the hotel like stated their sorries and like they went through court and all that stuff. I couldn't really find much if like the families got justice. But basically like I guess when the hotel staff came out and saw what was happening, like the students or the youths that were getting crushed, they called the ambulance, the fire department, the police. They finally came. They controlled the situation. They arrested a couple of teens that they saw that were intoxicated. They weren't even inside the hotels. Everybody who was outside. And the hotel made their, appeal on social media, like saying sorry to the families or whatever. But really, like, there was really nothing that they could have done. It was just the crowd just surfed forward, and these poor kids were crushing. It reminded me a lot of what happened in Astroworld. Yeah. But, a lot, there could have been steps taken to prevent something like this. You need to have security at these places, especially like with people who just don't give a shit. These are teenagers. Teenagers don't give a shit. They don't. At concerts, people push forward too. But you need to make sure you have enough manpower and security. And mind you, when she wrote in, she said that this is like one of the biggest bashes of the year for St. Patrick's Day for teenagers, and it covers 3 different counties. So teenagers from 3 different counties go to this specific hotel that are in the outskirts of town to go and party on St. Patrick's Day. So they should have had the proper security there to control the crowd. And they didn't have anybody there. It was like,
was this the first? This wasn't the first year, right?
This was not the first year of them throwing a party like this.
So they should.
They should have known better.
Yeah.
No party, no club is worth losing your life, you guys. Like, If I were to see it start getting crazy, bye, bitch, I'm getting the fuck out.
That's what I do. I start seeing people go crazy. I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's our cue to go.
I gotta go.
And
like,
she said too, when she wrote in, she said when they got off the car and they saw how long the line was, she was like, oh shit, maybe we should go. But her friend's like, no, I'll be fine. So when they got stamped, they were excited. They're like, oh, we're still going to be able to go in. And then when they stopped stamping and ordered the rest of the crowd to go, they needed to go home. That's when it just
started getting crazy.
Yeah.
That's
just
so
do it
dumb.
like what other clubs do. Like they don't tell you, just wait. Like
just wait there all night.
Just wait there all night. Like you get in, you don't. Like, because as soon as you tell, especially teenagers, like you can't do something, they're going to go crazy because they want to do it.
Yeah. Fucking teens.
Yeah.
That's crazy. See, that's why like I like freak out. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe that's just how I've always been. Like I'm always scared to go out like somewhere in public. Like even when I was a teenager and like people would invite me like places outside like somewhere, I'm just like maybe not.
Yeah. So like they said that the police were interviewing those who were present, and then Hamilton. So this guy Hamilton, he was like the owner of the hotel, urged parents whose children attended the event to tell police exactly what happened on their end, and that he also appealed for any photos, videos, and dash cam footage of the incident to be sent to police and not shared online.
Well, there you go.
Those fucking kids that started the pushing, those should have been the ones in trouble. Like, who does that? Oh, I can't get in. Let me push these fucking people. They should be held accountable.
Just like the Astroworld
like that?
incident that happened. Like, the people in the crowd that were stomping on all the other victims should be held responsible. The guy that was standing on top of the ambulance when they're trying to do CPR on somebody who went into cardiac arrest should have got arrested. Like, crowd etiquette, too. You know what I mean? Like, you need to look out for everybody around you. Don't be assholes and heartless. And you know,
some people don't give a fuck.
Like, I don't know. I look on the ground because I want to know what I'm stepping. Like, you know, because sometimes you can step on like beer and food, and like, so I'm constantly like looking down when I'm stepping like in big crowds because I'm like, I don't know what I'm stepping on. You can feel.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like you can feel when you're stepping on something
definitely.
you're not supposed to be stepping on.
Yeah. It's just sad. So I didn't know something like that happened in Ireland, and sadly it was on St. Patrick's Day, but I thought it was important to talk about too because it happens.
It happens.
Careful when you go out, guys. Especially St. Patrick's Day is probably like the drunk holiday.
Oh my God. So I read another story. It was on a blog. I wasn't going to talk about it because you know how I am with fucking pedophiles, but I am going to talk about it since you brought it up. So this family was staying at a hotel, and they wanted to go down to the bar to, you know, get some drinks or whatever. Well, I guess the parents didn't realize that it was St. Patrick's Day, so the bar was like packed. Ooh. So the dad goes to the bar to get his drinks. He orders Coke for the friend, or his daughter and her friend. His daughter and the cousin, which is his niece. And then these guys, and mind you, they're 12. So the group of 20-year-old guys goes up to them. Hey, what's y'all's name? How old are you? And the girls are like, God. Oh, hi, you know, we're 12. You're 12? Girl, you look like you're 20. Let me buy you a drink. Like, yeah. And then the daughter of the man was like, yeah, no, maybe like we look like maybe like 15, but come on, 20. And right away she's like, no. So then the guys are like trying to buy them drinks, and she's kind of like looking for her dad, like, Dad, where are you? Like, let's go. But the cousin is like being nestia and like, you know, flirting back.
Ass bitch.
So then the guy, so these guys are like probably in their mid-20s. So they're probably like college students, right? So the guy's like, come on, let's go dance. So the cousin's about to get up to go dance. And then so the daughter's like, no. Like, stay here with me. So then she gets up. The dad sees him. He puts his hand up like, are you okay? So she walks over there and he looks. He's like, who are those guys? And she goes, oh, no, like they're just asking for, they're just asking if the seats were taken. So we got up and came to you. She didn't want to tell her dad what happened because she knows that her dad would have fought them. Yeah. And got kicked out of the hotel.
Bust a cap on someone.
Yeah. So they decided to go to the car and like wait for the dad and whoever was with them to like finish up at the bar because they were also going to go out and meet somewhere. So they decided to wait for them at the car. So then the daughter of the man heard like ruckus like in some kind of alleyway. So they said they like peeked their heads out because they wanted to see what was going on. Well, one of the guys that was flirting with her, the one I was like, oh, you look 20, let me buy you a drink or whatever, saw him fighting another guy. And apparently the shouting match was that he was trying to force himself on the girlfriend of the guy he was fighting.
Oh, damn.
So he was there to like
do some shit.
Hook
Yeah.
up with someone.
Yeah.
Those bitches.
So basically, she said when she wrote in, she was now like in her 20s, but that's something that she will always remember. So she was like, girls, like follow your instincts. Like, you know, I'm glad I stopped my cousin because who knows what could have happened to her. Like, you know.
Little chifladas. Don't be talking to, if you're a teenager listening to this, don't be talking to no older men. Stop it. Throw water on yourself.
Like, I used to do that a lot for my cousin. Like, especially I go spend the night at my grandma's. She's like, oh, I'm going to go, like, meet this guy. And he was always, like, older. And I'm like, bitch, now I have to fucking go with you. Because if they find out that I didn't go with you, they're going to be mad at me. So I'd have to go with her. And she'd still do, like, crazy shit. And I'm just like, you need to not do... Yep.
Yeah.
Some girls are just easy to bait. I'm sorry, but some of y'all are stupid. Like, stupid as hell.
It's true.
Don't be going out with no guy you just met online.
Like, no.
Don't meet him at an alleyway. Like, don't
go with a friend.
Take somebody with you.
Like, not in the
tell
alleyway,
somebody
though.
where you're at.
Fucking Ted Bundy would have loved y'all's dumbasses. God.
Oh, but you remember those stupid girls that were like fans of his? Like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's too cute.
He's too cute to be a murderer. Murder me, daddy.
They're supposed to look like regular people.
Yeah, idiots.
Duh.
I don't know.
That
So when we
makes
were
me so
talking
mad.
about that, I thought of that story. Like, oh,
See, that's what makes me like. I'm so mad that Sophia was born on St. Patrick's Day because I'm like, when she gets older, like, I'm gonna have like a heart attack.
She is gonna.
I'm St. Patrick's Day, baby.
Don't
I'm
worry,
so
I'll be
scared.
following her. I'm gonna be sitting there with a fake mustache.
All three of
Don't
us
be
were gonna
talking
be
to
like
her.
staking her out, just like watching her.
I see you.
I'm
I
so
see you,
scared.
girl.
I jinxed myself.
I'm sorry I coughed because I was like, oh my God, my kids will be old enough too.
All three of them together going and doing stuff on St. Patrick's Day.
Hell no.
Texting,
like-
hey, we're gonna meet up here. I'm fucking coming. I'm right behind y'all.
I'm already there.
We're coming.
I'm already there. Wearing my fake mustache.
We're like the pot belly.
I'm probably already gonna have one, like, for real.
Oh my gosh.
I already have one.
I don't know, guys. Just be careful on St. Patrick's Day. Like,
Yes.
oh,
Drink
people get-
responsibly.
Yes. Drink responsibly.
But also the green beer is pretty good. So,
I already drink beer.
also I found a fun fact that St. Patrick's color was actually blue, not green. So we're technically supposed to be wearing blue on St. Patrick's Day. And it just kind of got, over the years, just got switched to green. Because, like, the luck of the Irish, St. Patrick's Day. And it's not really an Irish celebration. It's a European celebration.
Yep.
Crazy,
Also,
right?
fun fact.
It's weird.
Whenever you don't wear green, you're supposed to pinch people's nipples.
Yeah.
Nah, just kidding.
I was like, I thought it was like,
I was like,
their
I thought you were
butt.
playing along.
No, it's just my nipples. Just kidding.
Only
we're
Gatto's
just
nipples on St. Patrick's Day.
playing.
I always forget to wear green on St. Patrick's Day.
I do too.
It's just like green. I don't think green is
My grandpa
color.
would pinch where he puts the thumb on the middle finger and like grab
Oh,
your
those
skin.
are the ugly
I hate
pinches.
those.
My dad
I
pinches
hate
me like that
those.
too. It hurts. I get all bruised.
Those are the ugly pinches.
Yeah, guys, just stay safe. Crowd etiquette. Look at your surroundings. If you see something, say something.
Yes.
You can save a life.
Remember not to make a wish with a leprechaun. If you do, be very careful.
Very, very careful.
Don't wish for anyone to be gone.
Also, something that I forgot to mention in the beginning. It's something that I sent y'all about the magical Japanese bulger.
Oh my God.
That's imprisoned a demon for 1,000 years, has mysteriously cracked open, and people are spooked.
Fuck yeah, they are. I
Spooky.
am too.
Japan, they are scared.
I don't even live in Japan. I'm fucking freaked out.
This happened March 8th.
A couple days ago.
Just a few days ago.
Scary, right?
It's
Like,
fantastic.
aren't we done? Aren't we done yet? Like, why are we living through all of these like historical moments?
Our age group has lived through so much.
we have.
I'm tired.
We're
I'm
done.
tired of this, Grandpa.
That's just too damn bad.
Yeah, that's what life is saying to us.
So basically, it's like the superstition, and according to the superstition, it contained a powerful demon that is now cracked in half. And the demon is supposed to be a 1,000-year-old female demon who is now loose.
Female
demon. Yeah. She's supposed to be like some kind of fox demon.
Huh.
And like when you come across this fox demon, you die instantly. Yeah, so the woman fox demon was slayed by a warrior, and the corpse became the Shishko Sheki, which is the bulger that they put her body in. And the legend goes that the stone was later exorcised by a Buddhist monk. But fast forward to last weekend, the stone was discovered to have been split in two, and this was most likely due to natural weathering and age. But basically, like, the people of Japan are freaking out because there's this 1,000-year-old fox demon that's just floating around in the universe.
Just chilling.
Fox demon, that whenever you say that, it reminds me of that demon from Big Mouth. The one that goes, bubble bias.
Yeah, so people are freaking out.
Well,
interesting.
a lot of shit we're going through right now, you guys.
We're living through a lot nowadays.
I just want to stay home and
I'm just going to document everything, and then when my kids are older, I'll be like, look, this is what I lived through.
So be nice to me.
Be nice to me.
Be nice to me.
Do not do anything in your teenage years.
Don't say you've lived through it all, because, bitch, I've lived through it all. I'm living it right now. And I have this podcast to prove it.
For real. For real. It's documentation.
Yes, documentation, guys. Documentation.
Document.
But that's it.
That's it.
That's it for today.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm eating a peach.
It was a very, lazy Sunday. I feel like this is a lazy episode, but I had fun.
This was a fun episode.
I don't know, guys, but y'all be careful out there. We love y'all. And if you have any leprechaun stories or St. Patrick stories you want to enter, send us an email at scarynotScaryPodcast@gmail.com. Visit our website, scarynotScaryPodcast.com. Shop our merch, scarynotScaryPodcast.shop. And follow us on all the social medias. Follow us on Podbean. Download the app. We do our live shows on Podbean. Rate and review us on iTunes Podcasts. And follow us on Spotify. And we have a Patreon, but we don't talk about that because we don't have anything on there yet.
I'm working on it.
We're trying, okay? We just have shit going on.
A lot of shit.
A lot of shit going on, okay? But if you want to be a Patreon, just let us know. We'll jump on it. But we don't have any Patreons yet, so we're kind of procrastinating here.
Yes.
Oh, we officially have a link tree. Created a link tree for us. It's on our Instagram page. We'll put it on Facebook, and we officially have our own QR code as well.
Yay!
So when you scan our QR code, it goes directly to our website, our merch site, all of our social medias, YouTube, Spotify. It goes to our iTunes. It even takes you to the app to download Podbean. So that's on our Instagram. Yes, girl. I'm telling you, I was working it.
Wow.
I was working it.
I'm gonna get
That's so cool.
I'm gonna get that code tattooed.
And fun fact, I made us business cards. So we're going to actually put them at Dutch Bros on Petrenko. So hopefully we can get more listeners too. So all they have to do is just scan our QR code. It goes to everything, and they can follow us.
That's so exciting. I feel like we're moving on a
Coffee and Scary Not Scary.
moving on
That is the
up.
best combination right there.
Yeah, so we'll share our QR code. You'll probably see it before the episode comes out. And it's our link tree. It goes to literally everything we have
Everything.
out. Everything.
One-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
Oh my God.
I can now, and then afterwards I could say, go to our link tree.
Link tree.
Goes to everything. But yeah, super exciting. Super exciting. I think that's it.
Yay.
Yay. And until next time, as always, remember to always stay